thing. If you don't know Owen Benjamin, that's something I empathize with. The idea that he's been censored by YouTube and everything. Um, he was he got canceled in the midst of a lot of that stuff happening around Trump's election and everything. Um, I think times were crazy then, and I don't remember exactly what Owen Benjamin did. I don't know if it warranted a canceling. I'm sure it didn't. But Owen is a guy that has dug his heels in. And one thing I always respected Shane for is when when he got canceled, Owen will say he didn't get canceled. But when Shane got fired by SNL, Shane did not become a guy that was consumed by cancel culture, and he didn't make that his identity. Owen Benjamin made that his identity, and that was his ultimate undoing. And he seems crazy based on this episode that I watched, where he's going to take down Shane Gillis. If you want to leave the business and you think it's a toxic culture, he was a stand-up in LA. If you think that's a toxic culture and everything, and you leave it, that's perfectly fine. But to now make your show about shitting on comics you're jealous of is a weird move to then be like, and I don't even care about that world. I don't want to be part of it. It seems like he very much wants to be part of it and is a little jealous that he's not anymore. He also has this weird, for context, when we watch these clips, I guess Owen Benjamin had a Jewish character named Ira.
Yep.
And again, I'm sure he got in trouble for that and he shouldn't have, probably. He's talking about, I don't think we have the clip in the video where Shane does a Jewish voice. And then he's like, he plays that and is like, Shane Gillis stole from me. It's a clip. I just heard it on Matt and Shane not long ago. I think it might have been the episode Ari Shaffir was on. But Shane's like, ruin that man's life. Like he's making fun of Shane in kind of a stereotypical Jewish voice. It's like Mort Goldman from it's the Jerky Boys guy.
Yeah.
It's well, like one of those characters. It's a stereotypical voice. No one owns it, but Owen Benjamin felt that Shane stole that from him, and that was grounds for him to go off on Shane.
Yes. So this is just tell me when to stop because there is no segments on this. He just rambles for 6 minutes.
Yeah, we Casey Day cut down 6 minutes of. How long would you say he talked about Shane? An hour and a half of this 2 hour video?
2 hour, 2 hour show, and he'd talk about something else and then come back to Shane, and then talk about something else and come back to Shane. It was a very peculiar show.
Yeah.
I just Googled this guy. He sounds kind of like a piece of shit.
Well, no,
he's. I don't know. I don't know enough about his story to agree with that. He's a guy. He's got a weird path where he was on Sullivan and Son on TBS. Steve Byrne. He was on a sitcom. And then went this route. He told a couple trans jokes. And when he got in trouble for that, he really doubled down and made that his identity. And I remember, I don't remember what he got in trouble for. I'd have to look into it. A lot of people suggest him for Why You Laughing, which I will do at some point. I'm sure he got fucked. Like, I'm sure he got fucked over. And I'm sure I would have defended him at the time if I had a show. But now he's made it his identity, and that's always ill-advised.
He was kind of kicked out because he was kind of thought of as a conspiracy theorist, before, a lot of now he's
but
now he's
then he's also
which I don't mind that.
alt-right and all this.
Well, who gives a shit? Who cares about that?
Well, that so but he also, fun fact, he's 6'9". This guy's
he's a tall, handsome guy. Yeah. So he had a lot of things going for him in Hollywood, but
he was on The House Bunny, that movie.
Yeah, we could sit here and list Owen Benjamin's resume, or we could.
He's a piano teacher.
Play the clips.
Watch the freaking clip.
Now that everybody can do the gay jokes and the Jew jokes, what did I say exactly? He's
he also spends most of his show reading tweets that he did for the last week and the responses to it. That's like 90%.
That's a lot of what this is. Yeah, him being wasn't I really funny on Twitter?
Yes.
Shane's trying to basically do Ira. And
I gotta say, Shane wasn't doing he was making fun of Ari. It was a 30-second clip, and he moved on. He's like, Shane stole this character from me. I got news for you, Owen. A lot of people have done that. A lot of people have gone, oi, it's chilly in here. That's not a unique thing. You didn't invent that.
No, you should hear Rob Sauls. It's amazing.
They won't acknowledge And it's not about fame. It's just about honor. I wrote, now that it's safe, they're all doing my jokes from 2017 that got me permanently removed from YouTube. Still can't be on YouTube. I'm aware that I'm an anti-Semitic hipster, literally shooting a sketch next month about it. Like, I'm fully aware of the whole, like, I have a first edition of Henry Ford's book about the Jews. Like, I get it. But in comedy, that should actually have some weight. The fact that I did it first. The fact I'm completely banned from...
Yeah, I think Owen got fucked over. And again, I'll have to look into exactly what happened. But I do remember he was on like Legion of Skanks talking about it and shit. He tweeted stuff about trans people, takes that I probably agree with, and he got shut the fuck down for that. And then he became one of these guys that wasn't allowed to have a YouTube channel. And people took a bunch of stuff away from him for opinions that he had, which I find to be fucking insane. So like he did get fucked over, but now he's let it affect every opinion that he has on everything. And he looks at Shane, who has nothing to do with Owen getting kicked. I don't even understand the correlation. But he's saying that Shane stole something from Owen Benjamin, which I don't get because Shane has made Jew jokes and trans jokes. That's stealing from Owen Benjamin. Owen should be happy that Shane's allowed to do it now. Owen blazed a trail because of guys like Owen. Because that stuff was so crazy, people getting stuff stripped away from them. Now we're kind of back, like we just talked about with Anthony Cumia getting a radio job. It took people like Owen getting railroaded for us to go, all right, let's ease the brakes a little bit here. Let's all fucking calm down.
From YouTube, even just me playing the piano. For jokes the biggest comics in the world are now openly doing should get more uproar in the comedy world, or at least a little respect. But it doesn't because they're cowardly, alcoholic homosexuals.
Well, Owen, you get more flies with honey. If you want respect from these people, maybe you kind of have to talk to them with respect. It's weird that he's like, these are all monsters. They're alcoholic homos or whatever he calls them. But he wants their respect so desperately. Well, why would you give a fuck if you think they're all terrible people? Why would you sit there for 2 hours and be like, I need their respect. They should be saying how great I am. And also, they're pedophilic monsters.
I posted that. I said, Bud Light tastes like a homeless dude is pissing in your mouth and gives you female breasts. That should be their new marketing campaign. Now that the hack mainstream sellout social engineer comics can make fun of Jews and homos, I'm going to make fun of what they are not allowed to make fun of. Each other.
Whoa, what an edgelord. Oh, and don't you see this is a little sad to now be like, I'm going to do the really edgy thing and I'm going to make fun of that? Go ahead.
Yeah.
You don't have to set it up as how edgy am I. Just make fun of them. Who gives a shit? People, I got news for you. People do it all the time. It's what this show is. Too Lazy to Try, Podcast Cringe. There are plenty of channels that make fun of these comedians. It's not like people are going to watch this and go, oh my God, Owen just made fun of Shane. Like Owen needs this respect. Whereas like he did, by the way, in this episode, he's playing Red Bar clips. And he's like, the only truth teller is Mike David.
Yeah,
Mike David doesn't give a fuck if Shane Gillis likes him and pays homage to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one thing you got to say about Red Bar is he doesn't give a fuck who likes him. Owen Benjamin is sitting there whining for 2 hours that Whitney Cummings doesn't like him and Bert Kreischer abandoned him. Like, that's the sad part of this, Owen, is you don't see your own. If he looks up to Red Bar so much and he's like, he's the only honest guy, well, then you shouldn't care if these people like and accept you.
Their gay little cartel is a weak point. Ha ha. The fact professional comedians aren't.
I thought he actually had a thought. He's just reading him. He's quoting himself.
He does the ha-ha of his own tweet.
Exclamation point.
LOL.
Make fun of each other outside of scripted, horribly boring roasts is pathetic. Today, the topic is Shane Gillis. And no, I'm not just jealous. Like I was never jealous of Indians shitting in the streets or blacks stealing bikes or homos pumping each other into diapers.
Well,
no, I don't mock what I aspired.
Thrown off YouTube, I guess.
Comedy in threes, Mike. You always do comedy in threes.
But again, I won't even say, like, I would never even argue Owen's opinions because I think they're all, like, him doing that because of what happened to him. it's all him digging his heels in and go, well, I'll say this about Indian people. I'll say this about black people. You know what I mean? Like, it's him trying to be an edgelord, which I get where that originated. But then it stops being shocking, and it's just people being like, is this guy a fucking racist? What's going on here?
To be, I mock what disgusts me. And today, Shane Gillis, you disgust me. All right. Oh, he was canceled. He was never canceled. He was fired from SNL for saying.
Well, he
No one
was.
back-
It's the same shit that happened to you. It's just Shane didn't let it consume him. He kept working hard, and he was reaccepted again. He had a following that supported him enough to become a headliner, to become the biggest podcast on Patreon, and be a major sketch show with Gillian Keeves. Those were all supported by the fans, and because those started getting attention, the industry was like, fuck, we screwed this one up. We need to embrace this guy. I guess in Owen's mind, Shane should have been like, fuck you. And there's something to be said for that. I was one of the many people rooting for him to go on SNL and just torch the place down in the monologue, and he didn't do that. But I don't think you need to, just because it's what I would have wanted. I think it's probably better for his career. It seems like Owen wants what Shane has.
Yeah.
So to criticize Shane for doing that does seem strange to me. I don't fully understand it.
Owen Benjamin seems like Jesselnick with stakes, right? It's not about some like amorphous thing. He actually mentions a thing that will offend and then
Right.
gets the shit from it. Where Jesselnick kind of walks away scot clean because that thing doesn't really exist.
Yeah, but this is what Owen does. Is he accused Chappelle of stealing a trans joke from him. Those were similar, by the way. I watched the breakdown of those, and they were similar jokes. I don't think Dave Chappelle was watching Owen Benjamin clips and being like, "Oh, this is a joke I'll do." I'll think it's a premise that it makes sense that more than one person got there. And it was a good joke. I don't even think Owen's unfunny. I just think this is kind of gross. And it's like, this is what happens with guys like Owen and Red Bar to a degree where it's like, when your whole thing is shitting on people, when you have to be negative, sometimes you're going to miss. And I think him shitting on Shane is missing, in my opinion. Now, I see it in even our comments. It's working to a degree because I see people being like, oh, Shane is now part of the problem. Shane's now an industry guy. It's like, if you watch Shane or listen to Matt and Shane's podcast, it's no less funny than it was 3 years ago. And if you say it is, you're pretending. You might, if you don't like them, that's perfectly fine. But it's not like Shane is suddenly some hack because he was on SNL and he's in Bud Light commercials.
Back to SNL, he didn't apologize. He called the show shit. Yeah. These freaking trannies, like this guy, Shane Gillis.
Ooh.
And I posted that, and I said, I really went to war with this prick today. Notre Dame sucks too, by the way.
Oh, come on, Owen. That's too far. Don't go after his football team.
I wrote, the thing I can't stand about mainstream comedians like Shane Gillis, why does he have to Photoshop his headshots to look more glamorous and handsome? It's so vain. You're a comic, not a male model.
I had senior pictures done. I think just professional photographers do that. I don't know if Shane's going into the computer and doing it.
Yes, I want final edit on that picture. No, that doesn't sound like a Shane Gillis sort of move.
This is Shane's new headshot. I can't believe how much effort went into making him look airbrushed and flawless. What a sellout. For those of you just listening, it's a leprechaun with Down syndrome angrily drinking a Bud Light. You know, really.
Well, I mean, while the leprechaun insult is really biting, I can't believe he went there. He called an Irish guy a leprechaun. How did YouTube ever let him on? That was crazy. But
He's
like,
also dressed as a leprechaun too. You can't see the picture, Mike, but he's dressed as a weird leprechaun, I guess. and so he's looking at a picture of him.
Owen, how could you do that? But like the trans thing or calling Shane a lesbian, or whatever, it's like Shane does that. Like that's what this whole thing was. Is like he looks like he has Down syndrome. So yeah, Shane has a joke about that. This is not. It was just a terrible takedown because there was nothing to it. It just felt like a guy that was very jealous. I'm amazed it came across our radar. I'm amazed Casey found it.
I watched the whole thing and I was waiting for something that was cutting and biting that I could be like, ooh, okay, now this is why this guy got censored. It never came.
Well, here's the thing. Here's where like Owen was bad at this, where it just seemed like he was trying too hard. Is like he didn't even have clips with Chappelle. Owen had clips of both their stand-up where absolutely, I don't agree with it, but absolutely you could watch those clips and be like, oh shit, Chappelle stole that joke. It's the same joke. I totally get how you could come up with that. He didn't even have that. He didn't have anything that Shane stole from him. So Owen's like, I'm not, by the way, I'm not jealous. Maybe that's true, but it really seems like you're jealous when you have nothing to back this argument up with. You're just
In
like,
this
he's
little-
famous, so he
little-
sucks.
Sorry.
Bitch. Okay. If anyone is like my hero is Shane Gillis with the Down syndrome face and YMCA steam room mustache, drinks Bud Light, so I will too. You deserve the giant female tits the Bud Light will give you. The show Tires sucks. Not only is it not funny, after watching more than a few minutes,
He's reading this.
Damn, I didn't know he would go there. No wonder this guy's off YouTube. He goes there. He says your show sucks. Oh man, this is an edgy guy.
Would tires blow would even actually been a joke. I mean, you try something.
This is the problem people like Owen Benjamin and Gavin McInnes have. Like, at some point, it stops being edgy to be like, hey, fuck trans people. Like, at one point, that was edgy, and that would get you canceled. Now, no one really gives a fuck. So now they're just grasping at straws at how to remain relevant. And so now they're like, oh, well, Shane's popular. Maybe I'll make fun of him. And it's like, I guess, but you gotta have something. And again, you want to talk about like Red Bar. I saw Red Bar try to make fun of Shane. I didn't think there was a lot there, but like at least Red Bar will give it a go. He doesn't just go, well, Tires is bad. Oh, okay, don't watch it then.
Yeah, he actually watches some of the episode and just kind of goes, "That's bad."
Yeah, breaks it. He's not just like, this guy sucks, man. Don't all you bears agree with me in the chat?
I never got what the Bears thing was, but yes.
I guess because he lives in the woods. I'm not really sure.
I think they might be his gearheads, his bears.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
But
it is. That's what he calls his fans. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a very weird thing to call people if you're, anti-gay. But anyway,
same disgusted and sad feeling you get when you find out someone you care about had an abortion. Shane Gillis could star in the remake of Life Goes On and play an even more retarded looking Corky.
Oh, come on,
Except he's always-
Owen. Stop going there. We can't handle it. Now you said he's retarded and you used a 40-year-old reference? Owen, they're going to take you off Twitter next.
this has the feel of Tom Myers Against the World. It like how he reads those jokes and just like I'm waiting for.
Well, that's a
Gigi to
ridiculous
laugh.
comparison because that's a great show.
Yeah,
But-
why is he reading it? Is he just reading off of Chat
He's
GPT?
reading his
what
own-
Chat
he's-
GPT wrote him or something?
He's reading his own tweets. He's quoting himself.
Oh.
He was so brilliant earlier that he had
Gotcha.
to redo those. He was workshopping them for Twitter and bringing them to us on the live show. And I got to tell you something, Owen. I know Elon is edgy. Elon is out there. But if he hears that Corky from Life Goes On joke, a 40-year-old reference, I think Elon might say, we can't have this guy in our play. I am trying to make money at the end of the day here. Like, that's too edgy, Owen. What have we been missing with this guy? It's a shame he took himself out of Hollywood because we could have had, primo stuff like this.
Drunk and way fatter than Corky, who was just normal retard, not drunk gay retard. Shane Gillis is like the everyman that you're supposed to relate to as a blue-collar American, but only if you're one of those fat, dumb, drunk, queer blue-collar Americans. Shane Gillis used to be a petite...
Yeah, that's what... yeah, I guess.
It is like evil Chat GPT jokes. It's they go nowhere.
Yeah, and is he gay because Bud Light supported Dylan Mulvaney? Is that what makes him gay? Like, what is the gay Bud Light correlation?
I never got it. Something about drinking, like something in the actual drink itself that takes some of your like hormones away. He's a conspiracy theorist, so he believes that it's called social engineering and that these companies are trying to make us all women or some shit. Like
Again, even if that's a little out there for me, but he could probably convince me. Like if he has good arguments for that, go for it. But when he's talking about something that's based in nothing, it just seems very silly.
retard girl named Lily before Bud Light. Lily just like playing with her cat. Not anymore. Now Lily is Shane and has a Velcro mustache.
Is the audience, because we can't retweet him because he's just reading them, is the audience supposed to just go, that's a great tweet? That's really good. Like, what are we supposed to get out of him reading his tweets?
I'm finding it as an effective time way to do your show.
Maybe say, hey, I've got a lot to say about Shane Gillis. I had more to say earlier. Go to my Twitter if you'd like
Exactly.
to read, because obviously I'm not going to sit here and read 50 tweets. I'm just going to say something off the cuff.
I'm never preparing for a show again. I'm just looking at my old tweets from now on. That's
Good.
Craziest thing about the Biden administration that lasted with horrible consequences is under his watch, they legalized the broadcasting of live abortions being performed on television. Don't believe me? Watch the show Tires on Netflix.
Oh, he tricked
starring
me! Damn
Shane
it!
Gillis.
I thought I was
Hopefully the
like,
law-
wait a second, Owen. I don't remember an abortion being broadcast. And then he suckered me. Tires is an abortion.
That's a Tom Myers show.
Gets overturned.
This is also, by the way, like, take that back, what you said about Tom.
I mean, it's good, is what I meant.
But like,
Amazing.
like if someone said that at a roast of Shane Gillis, no one would be offended. It'd be like a funny, like, oh yeah, it's an abortion, whatever. Like, this is not some guy that can't be handled by entertainment. This is, I gotta shame on YouTube. This is the guy that we can't handle watching.
That's how I felt.
Like that's really, Owen, we support you because this is egregious by YouTube. They were like, this is too edgy. The public can't handle this.
Yeah, it really does shine a light on how ridiculous things got.
Yeah.
This was the one that this was the one?
Right. We couldn't have, what if a children found an episode of this? Did I say children?
Shane
Children, yes.
Yeah, sorry.
That's how Craig calls them. Children.
Gillis doesn't make tens of millions of dollars from Netflix to empower the white middle-aged dad in America. He's to make them look drunk, fat, pathetic, and retarded. With his Velcro mustache and fake balls they let him wear for self-esteem. You're a roast comedian. You got to take it. And all these white knights that are like, how dare you? You're just
Hold on. You go for it. Who's not taking it? I'm sure there are people on Twitter that are like, hey, you can't make fun of Shane. He's funny. But like, I don't care. I'm a Shane fan. I don't give a fuck if you make fun of him. Go for it. But have something. Bring something to the table that like his friends don't. If you hate the guy this much, don't use jokes that his friends would make. I think we're going to get some substance here. You're like, hey, your show sucks. Ooh, Owen, don't go there. That's too much. I've got a high tolerance for being outraged, but that's a little much.
It's honest. It's lukewarm Owen. It's none of this is hot. None of it's coming in scalding. You know.
No, he had nothing on this.
Darnell Rawlings came in on fire compared to this guy. You know?
Right. Well,
No,
it is. It's
no,
like
no.
Reading his tweets is doing him a real disservice, because even like from his, I'm listening to him give his perspective, and you just hear him read those tweets, and it's someone where even if you agreed with them politically, like if you agreed with all the points they're making, you go, yeah, no, they're corporate, they're being controlled by the, like, it's exhausting. Like his opinions on things, even if they're right, are it's exhausting to talk to someone like that who can't have a conversation that doesn't loop back to the fucking Illuminati. They're poisoning the Bud Light, they're poisoning the drinking water.
Yes.
Even if you're correct, Owen, it's exhausting to talk to someone like that who makes Shane Gillis's Netflix special or his sitcom about the powers that be. Like, that's exhausting to hear someone go pontificate like that.
No, he's gonna try and do my Ira fucking Jew voice. After I had Sam meth face Tripoli tell me I couldn't wear the Grappler mask and he was worried about me. No, sir.
This is someone that's really crazy. Like someone that's talking about something that no one gives a fuck about. He's like, well, Sam Tripoli told me I couldn't do the... Owen, none of us give a fuck, man. Like, no one... You have not been held down by Sam Tripoli. Go make fun of Sam Tripoli, that's fine. But this idea that Shane Gillis owes you an apology for doing a cliche Jewish voice and tying that to Sam Tripoli, and like, you sound psychotic, man. Get out of it. Like, I've heard Owen be funny, and I'm sure he probably makes some good points politically, or points that even if you don't agree with them, they're interesting. This is not that. This was a guy grasping at straws and trying to be relevant by putting Shane Gillis in the title of his fucking episode.
Yeah, this is a clickbait.
Hey, Bears, Shane Gillis has no Jew joke privilege. Owen earned it with blood and sweat. Well, no, I mean, Shane earned his Jew jokes with his Bud Light piss water.
You sound crazy,
And, you know,
man.
What does that mean?
You sound fucking nutty.
I am an amateur eugenicist now, so I'm not like upset about
good.
that. I hope I'm not coming across as angry. I just am.
Moment of self-awareness.
I wish that was where you ended it. That just should have been where he walked off. Where he's like, this isn't coming across as angry, is it? Just relating all the world's problems to Shane Gillis being in a Super Bowl commercial.
That would have been a great joke.
Pumped to make fun of this fuck. Shane looks like in the Down syndrome world, it still has a 1 to 10. Corky from Life Goes On was an 8.
Come up with a better reference. When did Life Goes On go off the air? 35 years ago?
Yeah, like 97, 98.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, I take it back. It's under 30 years. I'm sorry, Owen.
I think the crime here is that there hasn't been more representation by people with Down syndrome.
Right. We can only come up with one name.
We can only come up with one. Jesus. Fuck you, Hollywood.
It's a 2. Like other retards are like, Shane Gillis is very unattractive. I had to swipe.
Oh, and I can't handle how edgy you're being. No one's ever done that retard voice before. This guy is shocking. Keep him off of YouTube. The kids can't handle this.
Oh, and I did that voice in 4th grade with my friends.
Yeah.
You stole it from me.
Listen, there's some stuff where it's absurd that Owen isn't allowed to do that on YouTube. And there's some stuff where it's like, what a hack cornball. Like, you think that's what Owen thinks is edgy. He's like, they can't handle my retard voice. We can all handle it, Owen. It's just been done.
He's been out of the city too long. Oh, and come back to the city. We're much funnier now.
Our retard app. Like he's fucking
Actually,
gross.
to your point, I would say stay out of. That's great that you moved to the woods. Like you kind of separated. You didn't like what was happening in Hollywood, so you separated yourself from it. That's great, but then you can't be obsessed over it, and you can't make people apologize that you're not a part of it when you didn't want it. Like you kind of have to admit you're lying there. If you're like Shane Gillis is, I did everything for Shane. Oh, and no one knew who you were until you went on this crazy crusade. Like Owen was a successful comic, and like I said, he had some credits and everything. But there weren't like this legion of Owen Benjamin fans before he got canceled. Owen's entire livelihood is from saying shit like he's saying now. So you can't be like, I got beaten down so Shane could thrive. The only reason Owen still exists in this manner is because he's chosen to, and it's what he's good at. It's what he's popular for.
Shane Gillis is now the it guy for white male comedy, like normal guys. So what are they? They're rapists who suck and are drunk at work. So what's the overall effects? You know how people bitch about getting replaced by Pajeets? If you're just watching this show, you're like a little more into the Pajeets, right?
I don't know. I don't know his language. I don't know what that means.
No idea what that means.
Oh, okay.
Chat, could you help me out with Pajeet?
I'm not sure.
Probably not good.
You look at Shane, you're like, oh yeah, these white guys just get shit-faced at work. Like they're pathetic, like pieces of shit. There we go. Let's analyze Shane Gillis's great comedy because he is not funny. I mean, he's funny sometimes when he calls himself.
I'm being told Pajeet means Indians. For some reason, he has a thing with Indians. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like that. That came up a lot. This isn't. He's not setting up the NBC clip, is he?
No, this NBC clip does not play.
Okay, all right,
if that's what you're asking. Yeah,
Yeah,
I made
yeah,
sure
yeah.
there's no.
Down syndrome face and shit, but he's really gross. Okay. And I don't have a daughter or anything, but if I had a daughter, I would literally, and I just saw that shit. I just think about Shane wrapping his lips around my daughter. Oh, corner him. Oh, lobster. Oh, I'd be like, dude.
Imagine not having a daughter and thinking about this. He's imagining Shane making out with an imaginary girl, and he also hates gay people. Like, is there anything there that you're ignoring, Owen? Like, why would that thought even come into your head? He's like, oh, I just can't stop imagining Shane making love. Why?
My imaginary daughter.
Who put that in your mind?
Here, let me pull my pants down real quick. Why would you?
Going to fucking Greenland is what you're doing.
That was another thing he kept saying. You go to Greenland, everyone.
Yes.
So he has a bunch of sayings that have no idea what they mean.
Well,
This
that
is
I
how
believe
you're
"Go to Greenland" is "End Your Life," if I'm not mistaken.
Oh no! Oh
Yeah,
no!
yeah,
Okay, well he said that a lot.
Yeah.
So, so that's Owen Benjamin, people.
Yeah, so he's as crazy as ever, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's my first interaction, but yes.
a lot of people have suggested him for "Why You Laughing." The history of Owen Benjamin is very dense, so it would take me a while to get through. So I want to make sure it's done right. But yeah, like you can't be the edgy guy and then make fun of the guy that no one's making fun of. I'll grant you that. Like, not a ton of people make fun of Shane Gillis, so go after him all you want. To have nothing, to be like, oh, tires sucks and Bud Light sucks, and you suck. It's like, oh, okay, Owen. Ooh, thank God YouTube censored that.
Go to blindmike.net for everything Blind Mike. Look at me. I did it. Kragers did it.